By now, a lot of you are already counting down the days until you're all grown up, which you are fools for because it is not all it's cracked up to be. But we're going to kick off this retreat by going old school. That's right, we're going back to pre-K and circle time. We're starting off with a story. One day, while walking through the wilderness, a man encountered a vicious tiger, and he ran for his life, and the tiger gave chase. As the man was running, he approached an edge of the cliff, and the tiger was almost upon him. Having no choice, the man grabbed hold of a vine with both hands and began to propel down. About halfway down the cliff, the man paused for a moment and looked up and saw the tiger above him baring its teeth. Then the man took a moment and looked below him and saw that yet another tiger had come and was waiting for his arrival and was roaring at him. Now, as he was suspended between the two, he looked up again and saw that two rats, one white and one black, had appeared at the top of the vine and began to gnaw away at it. The man knew that as these rats continued to gnaw away and eat at this vine, that eventually it would get to a place where the vine would no longer be able to support his weight. It would break and he would fall. The man tried to shoo the rats away, but they just kept on coming back. At that moment, the man looked over to his right and saw on the face of the cliff a strawberry growing. It looked plump and ripe. So the man, holding on to the vine with one hand, reached out with the other and plucked it. With a tiger above and another below, and rats chewing away at the vine, the man tasted the strawberry and declared it absolutely delicious. There's a lot in this story and much we can learn from this man. First, tigers are real. No, I'm not just talking about the large orange cats with stripes, but those tigers in our lives that represent our past and our future. In this story, the tiger at the top of the cliff represents the man's past, and the tiger at the bottom of the cliff represents the man's future. And now, suspended on this vine, he's caught somewhere in the middle, his present. Put yourself in the man's shoes. If you had tigers surrounding you, you would most likely be freaking out. I know that I would. And that's because the tigers in our lives, our past and our future, can bring us a lot of worry and fear. We have to figure out the next step and make these huge choices about life, all while sometimes dealing with some really hard things in our past. And just when we think it can't get any worse, it does. And two rats appear and begin to chew away at our only lifeline. This story isn't the only text we have that talks about worry, though. In Proverbs 12:25, we read, "Worry weighs a man down. An encouraging word cheers him up." In the biblical text, the word worry doesn't just mean a frenzied state. It means fear, anxiety, sorrow, and heaviness. To be weighed down is to actually be bowing down as if to a superior being. That's a fancy way of saying that when we allow the worry in our life to consume us, we're actually turning away from God and bowing down in worship to our fear rather than Him. Now let's go back to the story. What did the man do in this situation? Did he bow down to his fear? No. The man saw a strawberry on the face of the cliff, plucked it, ate it, and declared it the best strawberry he had ever eaten. If he had been too preoccupied with the worry in his life, he could have easily missed the gift that God was giving him in that present moment, the strawberry. The man chose to enjoy the moment, thank God for the gift of the strawberry, and trust in Him. You see, we can trust in God because in Him we have everything we could ever want or need, and He loves each and every one of us deeply. And when we trust in Him, we find real joy. Proverbs 16:20 says, "Those who listen to instruction will prosper. Those who trust in the Lord will be joyful." To trust in God means to be fully reliant or dependent on Him, because He alone is our refuge. Trusting in Him brings us more joy than we could ever ask for. But the thing is, choosing to trust in God is just that, a choice. And I'm not saying that trusting in God is always easy, but I am saying that it's always good. When we choose to trust in God, we can do this by giving Him our fears and our worries through prayer, and then we can relax and enjoy the moment knowing that God alone will take good care of us. We have this awesome strawberry in front of us this weekend, a time to get away and to grow closer to one another and to God. But This weekend, you have a choice to make. Are you going to bow down in worship to your fear? Or are you going to enjoy the present gift, this strawberry that God has given us? I promise you that there is tons of good fun to be had this weekend. We have bags upon bags of chips and candy, there's games galore, and most importantly, time to worship our good God together. But ultimately, the choice is yours. Will you allow the tigers in your life and your worry to consume you? Or will you enjoy the strawberry?